Hey everybody, welcome to John Versus, episode 8. We're bringing you another masterpiece this week, but before we get into the movie, let's say hello to my guest host, Mr. Joe Harrison, taking a break, busiest man I know, to be with us today. How's it going, sir?
It's going well. It is going well, despite having to sit through Looks Can Kill.
All right, well, you already said the name of the movie, now I have to play the trailer.
I don't like the way that industry treats women.
You don't know the first thing about it. You've never been in it.
And you don't want to go alone tomorrow?
Look sexy and scared. Stick your chest out. Make us want you.
You stole everything from me.
It's okay to be upset.
I'm fine.
Look at this.
It's a costume.
It's a pair of rubber bands.
People will try to exploit you, and you can't let them.
Sometimes you've got to bite your lip and move on.
You said you'd get us respectable work.
And we know there's a lot of competition.
We're gonna beat that competition.
Yeah. Normally I would say that's a decent trailer, but this movie bills itself as like a murder mystery, I guess.
Yeah.
But that trailer gives away everything that happens in the movie.
That trailer, you don't need I wouldn't recommend this movie for anyone. Yeah, like we're gonna talk about the movie, but you guys watch the movie by watching that trailer.
That's it. The mystery is revealed. You know exactly who the bad guy is. The funny thing is, I will give it a little bit of credit. Like, there's things that they stripped away from this movie, it would be a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actual, the reveal, not even the reveal, but the mystery part of it, I guess, is done okay, only because they clearly mislead you.
Yep, they mislead you several times. At first, they make you think it's the creepy publisher. Then they make you think it's the creepy photographer. Then they make you think it's the handyman. Then they make you think it's the receptionist. And then they reveal that it's that it's who it is.
Right.
So they go through 4 misleads before the reveal.
And not even clever red herring misleads.
There are so obvious misleads. It's not even funny.
Like, clearly, this is a man killing someone.
Please, I don't need the money that badly, please. Okay, no, I really don't like this. I really, really don't like this. Please, can you stop? I don't really feel safe.
Yet the reveal is that it is Danielle Scott, who's in every single movie. Rhonda in this movie.
Yeah,
who's in every Jagged Edge movie is the killer. But the first thing we're going to do, we don't normally do this, because normally one of the few things about ITN Jagged Edge is their box art is just generically, is related to the movie. This box art is specifically egregious. I'm throwing it up here for us, for Joe and I. None of these people are in the movie. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, they're not in this movie. Before we recorded, we were able to figure out who they're supposed to be in the movie, but they're not those characters. The lady, she's supposed to be Rhonda. That's not who plays Rhonda. That's supposed to be the creepy photographer down at the bottom next to the brunette. That's not who plays the creepy photographer. Those aren't the 3 friends. And he's not in the movie. I think he's supposed to be Hank.
But, he's one of the other males in the movie. Yeah.
None of these people are in this movie.
So it leads me, it's a great question. It's like, why? I mean, these people in this movie are like ITN Jagged Edge regulars. They're not opposed to being in pictures. I don't understand why they wouldn't just put their pictures. It's not like this is a masterpiece of Photoshop either. Just get pictures of the people in the movie and put them on the cover of the movie.
I know we went through it, so I came up with another scenario. My only other guess is this was a concept art. Like, this is what the person sent back to them and said, hey, does this work with your actors? And then probably scheduling stuff didn't work out, the guy, they didn't get good enough pictures, so there's just use the mock. Just use the mock you sent us. That'll work. Just we're approving the mock. That's what's going out.
We're good. Yeah, that looks fine. It's like, or they just used like Chat GPT, like make me a movie where about modeling but dangerous.
Yeah, it's so, and also the whole thing is it is we don't even get to the modeling, the entire like thing of the movie until about 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, like it opens with Daniel Scott, and she's just putting on lingerie and
it's a
hanging out. Yeah, hanging out.
Minute get ready with me video.
And I don't even understand what she's doing. It's like she's not like she makes it her character makes it very clear that even though she's clearly like a Julie Strain type B-movie scream queen, that she's a serious actress, even though all her movie posters are just her wearing the same outfit in a different pose.
Yeah, it's literally just lingerie in a different pose. And like she's like, I'm a serious actress. She was the star of a B-movie franchise called Maniac Mansion. And only wants to do serious work. That doesn't correlate in this situation to just be like, I'm serious about my craft and I want to do this work. Oh, I was the top billed star in 3 movies. And then you look at those 3 movies she was the top billed star in. Those aren't serious work movies where you would go to your agent and just be like, you need to be getting me serious work.
The movie posters look worse than this.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So she's in lingerie for the first 3 minutes of the movie. Sorry. And they insert some kind of weird, I guess, expositional thing right up top where like she has a sister, their father's dying, their mother's already dead. And like she's too busy laying on her couch in her garter belt to like get up and see her father on his deathbed.
He wants to see you.
Sissy, baby. So does my agent.
And it's mentioned a few times, but it really has nothing to do other than she winds up getting a large settlement.
Yeah, it's literally only there to tell us how she's able, because we know she's struggling. She hasn't gotten work in a while. Her father's death is only there so she can have the money to later on start her own modeling agency. It seems so shoehorned in as there's like, fuck, we've established that she's a struggling model. How is she going to start her own agency? We need something that will give her the funds to get this agency off the ground.
They put the Deus Ex Machina right, 10 minutes into the movie. And then there's like the weird thing about this movie, and I think we were talking about it beforehand, is it's long for a Jagged Edge movie. It's like 94 minutes. But the first 50 something minutes of this movie, like absolutely nothing happens.
Nothing happens. It is I scrubbed through the time code. It is 57 minutes to the first kill. 57 minutes to the first kill.
And there aren't a lot of kills either. You think there would be? Like in a movie like this, like I think back in my mind to like the 80s, 90s, you got like your Slumber Party Massacre, Sorority House Massacre. Like that's what this is. This movie looks like it's promising that. Like we're gonna kill him. No, it's nothing like that. It's absolutely like it's 30 years too late and none of the components are in here.
Yep. We're gonna show you 3 friends and 2 of them are gonna die. And oh, by the way, we showed the 2 friends that are going to die. We showed their kills in the trailer.
Yeah.
There are 3 kills in this movie. 2 of them are shown in the trailer.
Yes. And the other one is obviously taking care of the
the
bad girl. Taking care of the bad girl.
Also, I forget the final girl's name. The least agency I have ever seen from a final girl ever.
Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy. Yeah. Stacy is a final girl, is not a final girl. And they set her up early on to be the final girl, so you think you're going to get cool. And when I say the least agent final girl ever, she doesn't save herself. She gets saved by a man, and then the man's the one who kills the person.
Yeah, almost an accident. Like it's so freaky because and we can jump around. I don't care. I'm going to put the clips wherever they go. The whole final set piece, and the funny thing is all the set pieces are exactly the same. They keep going back to the same set over and over again. But the final set piece is the same set piece, just with a jury-rigged electric chair on it. And she's not killing Stacy. Rhonda is not killing Stacy. She's torturing her with a electric thing, and fully shocking the crap out of her. Yet when this thing gets thrown on Rhonda, it shocks her hard enough to kill her. And they haven't changed the controls at all.
Yep, yeah, the control is still on the setting that's just causing pain. It's not. She's even said like, yes, I'm going to kill her eventually, but I'm going to fry her first, and then I'm going to kill her like after that's all taken care of. But it's just and like that is such a convoluted, like it's a cool kill concept, but it's so convoluted how it's done, and then of course it's just so obnoxious because the first 2 kills are pretty grounded kills. They're a little bit out there, but they're pretty grounded for the most part. One, she's just gets tied to a chair, and then Rhonda saran wraps her and suffocates her. The other girl, Rhonda just chases her down an alley and hacks her to pieces. Yeah. Like,
I wish we did get those gore effects, but again, Jagged Edge, we're not going to necessarily see that in these early Jagged Edge movies. Post Winnie the Pooh, maybe, but now no. So you're right. Like, and the funny thing is, like, Rhonda's character arc is also crazy weird because she goes from like, it's like I have even in like well-made movies, I always kind of like have like an ick when someone just goes crazy. Like they're holding it together. They're not crazy for the first 80 minutes of the movie. Then suddenly they are off the wall, like delusional crazy.
You can't act. You're just a model. You're just a model. And models took my...
And it doesn't even show, like, it needed to show us her, like, we see a little bit of it early on, like when she looks at the Veronica Redding ad.
Veronica fucking Redding. You stole everything from me. You bitch.
And she's like, you took everything from me. If you're doing this movie right, that's what starts her devolution. That's not a snap moment. That's what starts her devolution. That's what gets the gears rolling. But no, that's just instantly she sees that. She's like, I'm starting a model agency because I'm getting rid of my competition.
Yeah. And like now just to get into like the other themes of the movie, kind of like it's really like it's so weird. Like it's really misogynistic. It's like it's not even like tongue in cheek. We're making fun of misogyny. This movie is just like plain vanilla misogyny.
This movie
one
is
scene after another.
This movie is just women are dumb and are only for guys to look at. It is just 84 minutes of the women in this movie being only seen as sex objects.
Okay, bend over a little more. Drop that arm, just one of those arms. There we go, get a nice shot of her cleavage there. Lovely stuff.
Having very little to no agency other than Rhonda. Like, that's it. It's like, and like, and like, I get and the backstories for the girls besides Stacy. Like, Stacy's the only one who has like an actual like reason that isn't already exploitative to get into modeling. She wants to be a model. Brigitte can't get a job because apparently she has a useless major.
She's like an environmental.
Yeah, she's an environmental management major.
Hey, we found a job that we think you might like, and it's right in line with your major.
Cool. Like sporting gear and accessories?
Not quite. We found a natural fiber swimwear made from renewable resources, and it's environmentally friendly.
And the other one is a criminal psychology major, but
her car gets repossessed.
Yeah, her car gets repossessed. Like,
Oh no. Oh no, no.
like if this movie wasn't so misogynistic, I think it could have been a really cool critique on the exploitative nature of the model industry and how eventually it turns these women against each other. But it doesn't do that. Instead, it just says, yeah, models are dumb, and they eventually it literally is just like takes that whole thing of modeling as a dog eat dog first. You have to be willing to kill the competition, and they just take that trope literally of Rhonda killing her competition.
Yeah, and really, it's like such an old, like tired, like stereotype of the modeling industry. Like This is not like some like, oh, I'm looking in the back of like a third-rate porno magazine and answering an ad. These are like legitimate. These are putting me forward as like legitimate agencies. But every person that works for every agency is like a scumbag. Like Rhonda's initial agent is a total scumbag.
I don't need your cheap sarcasm. I don't want you. I want girls who want to work.
Like they basically, then of course the manager at the first shoot she goes to is like a total scumbag.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bethel.
The photographer is a
legit sex offender.
I know about your past, right?
That was a long time ago. And it was just one charge, and it was only voyeurism. And that woman knew damn well what she was doing. I don't give a damn.
Sex offender. And so like they're doing this whole thing. It's an unsafe shoot. This guy like breaks glass. There's glass near her, and she's a serious actress.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the guy's just like cursing at her and like, you know, just yelling at her and being rude to her the entire time.
What are you doing?
Relax, Rhonda.
You see where he's pointing that thing? This is not safe.
Rhonda, it's fake glass. Just go with it. Stay in it.
It's not real.
No, it's fake.
What, you didn't hear real glass smashing? What, you hear candy glass?
Okay, you know what, Rhonda? Get the fuck off my set.
Like for motivation, I guess. And then she storms off the set and is kicked off the set, goes back to her manager, and her manager's like, oh, hey, Toots, whatever, tough crap. Oh, by the way, this other girl's coming in, get lost. Like, whoa, like what a, it's like, you have more time to like,
there's
a little bit.
Yep. And then there's that useless, speaking of that girl, there's a useless shot with Veronica Redding with that director, only to set up why the photographer leaves detective as something, whatever that magazine's called, to go work for Rhonda. It seems like what happened was, at least from a screenwriting perspective, they had an outline and they had scenes they wanted to do. They didn't realize how those scenes could realistically connect, so they cobbled stuff together to fit in there to pad the runtime. This would be here's how I would have done it. You have Stacy and Rhonda are on a shoot together. We cut all that interesting out. We cut the friends out. Those first 15 minutes are gone. We introduce at this skeevy shoot, and then Rhonda's upset because Stacy's getting all the attention. She's younger and she's more willing to do the things. And then that's when like Rhonda tricks her by saying, hey, babe, you are being exploited. I'm thinking of starting my own agency. Why don't you come work for me? And I won't treat you how these men have been treating you. We'll be a woman-run agency. Very cool concept if you do that. But meanwhile, Rhonda's plotting from the back because she's just like, these young women are taking from me, so I'm going to be in control of them. And then when she realizes she still doesn't have control, that's when you get her to do the killing. You don't have to have this convoluted 3 struggling girls, struggling older model. You can just very much have it be a duality of Stacy and Rhonda. Everything else you don't need to do. If they had just focused on Stacy and Rhonda as a duality of the modeling industry and built around that, instead of this weird, I don't even know what to call it, they want to do, you'd have a much better movie.
See you guys, and Joe is also available for your script rewrites if you need them. You can find them on all the social media. Basically, yeah, and then like just to get into like the kind of like the kills and stuff. So like we established like Lisa, Brigitte, and Stacy, right? So Lisa's car is repossessed. She's desperate for work. She had just been introduced to the agency. She'd been hired. So since she's desperate and calls Rhonda for work, Rhonda gives her like a real, like really skeevy job, even though like the whole basis of her agency is like, we don't do skeevy jobs. So they're doing like a horror shoot where she's going to be stalked, though she's just wearing like a black swimsuit and there's nobody else stalking her. Yeah. And she's like smiling in all the pictures. It's like, what? That's another thing too about this movie. Like the way the girls were directed, sometimes even within the same scene, like they're not giving consistent emotion. Like I think the best scene is like when Hank goes to pick up Lisa. There's no reason for Lisa to be upset with Hank.
Yeah, exactly.
She's pissed at him.
So you're gonna need a ride for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm here to help.
Look, I hate to be rude, but right now, I just need to focus on the job.
I understand. You can count on Hank.
Yet she is so mad at him when he has done nothing but been nice to her.
Yeah.
Like, if maybe there's some scenes like cut where like I'm assuming there's a scene that was cut where like Rhonda warns her about Hank and that's why she's already upset. Like,
Maybe,
but
yeah.
we don't get that. There like so much context needed for why these characters are acting the way they do just isn't given at all. And it's not even that long of a movie and it already feels long, but there's so much unnecessary things you could have cut out to give that context that shows why these people are acting this way in scenes. But it's like you said, she's so pissed at Hank and then changes the second he's just like, I'm your only ride. She's like, fine. And she's like, oh yeah, you are my only ride. Drops it immediately. Like there's no like tension or hesitation. It's like, he's just like, I'm just trying to help. And she's like, okay, drops her guard immediately, which I mean, she didn't really there was no reason for her to have her guard up in the first place. But if you go with that choice and then drop it immediately at one line, takes away all that tension. And it's not a good tension cutter.
So we're doing the shoot. Then for some reason, Rhonda zip ties her hands behind her back, and her and the photographer whose name I forget,
Zach Waller. They
Zach.
go to discuss the direction of the shoot.
Yeah, and they leave her there, but then the killer comes right back in and like saran wraps her to death. But the killer is Rhonda. But the killer who kills her is clearly a guy who's dressed like me. Like he's dressed like me.
It is clearly a man's arm that you see.
Please, I don't need the money that badly, please. Okay, no, I really don't like this. I really, really don't like this. Please, can you stop? I don't really feel safe.
Like he is wearing a 3/4 like zip up hoodie, and you can see his arm and you can see the veins on his hand. Those are masculine hands. And then Rhonda does not have masculine hands at all. So like, I get they're going for the reveal of it's just like, and I think of course, going to like the very end of the movie when you know, it seemed like Zach has decapitated Rhonda and it like is going to avenge her death by getting the one she thinks wronged her. Like it's implied that maybe Rhonda wasn't lying about Zach doing the first 2 killings, but
they
we're
have
given no evidence that he did.
That's just typical like Jagged Edge stuff where they can't just end a movie. Like it could have just been they kill Rhonda, you know, the handyman and Stacy just kind of get away and they kiss for some reason. Like
out of nowhere. Stacy's the one who initiates it. Like, yeah, I get he just saved your life, but you have not had any direct interaction with this man other than him saving your life. Like your life. I like
trauma bonding. They're trauma bonding.
Handyman. Yeah, it's a trauma bond kiss, maybe, but like there's just so many choices in this movie that just don't make sense. Like if that was an actress choice and not a direction, I'm even more confused by the actress. But if that was a directing choice, I'm just thinking, what in your head made you think, okay, these characters who have never interacted on screen before together, they're going to kiss right now because the first interaction together was him saving her life. So she's going to kiss him because that's what happens. Like it just goes back to the sheer misogyny of this movie of he saves her. So therefore she has to kiss him. That's what it feels like is what it was directed as of.
There's a shining kind of non-misogynistic moment shoehorned in there where Rhonda cold cocks Don with one punch.
Yes.
When like he knocks her out and then she gets up and just boom, and you see it in the trailer. Probably the biggest technical achievement in this movie is the sound editing of that 2 seconds. And then that's it.
Yep. He must have not hit her hard because she's only down for like 30 seconds before he's like, I'm going to get you out of here. And then she just cold cocks him out of nowhere. And I'm just like, man, like I get you're probably holding your punches because it's a woman, but you actively see her torturing someone. I'm knocking you the fuck out. I'm not like just trying to stun you. I'm like trying to make sure you're knocked out. I can get out of here, call the police, get her medical treatment, and like get you locked away forever. Like I'm not just like I'm just gonna stun you real quick. And I mean I'm assuming, but we wouldn't have gotten that cool Rhonda kill if she had just stayed knocked out.
Where it is in typical Jagged Edge fashion, they superimpose Sparks over like over. It's just like they throw the harness on her and it's there. And it's like zip, 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 zip. And don't worry, we'll put that clip in here so you can see it. And the only other kill we're glossing over is Brigitte's kill, which is like, I guess, probably the best. Well, I mean, crafted thing in the movie, I suppose. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that
like
chase is
scene.
probably the best, like, crafted, and it's a kill that we don't even see on screen, and I'm okay with that because, like you said, like earlier, Jagged Edge, it's more implied gore than it is you see it. But like, yeah, even that chase sequence is really cool. Other than the fact that she does, which I know it's a horror movie, it always happens. Instead of just running to the street, she knocks on a clearly locked door
and stays there.
Even after Rhonda gets up.
Yeah, but back to the Rhonda thing. When Rhonda comes into the alleyway, again, clearly
that is a man's build. Like, there's no indication. And I think in that instance, it's implied it's supposed to be Hank, but then it cuts away and you see Hank driving. So you're just like, oh, it can't be Hank.
Right.
Like, they take away so many of the, like, they take away the publisher really fast because, like, no one's going to be working with him anymore. So you're just like, okay, that red herring's gone, but we still have the photographer and he stays along. And then, like, also going back to the Hank of it all, Hank's introduction doesn't need to be there. His introductory scene where he sees, like, the hiring ad.
Yeah.
And like all like we get it. He's looking for a job. Like he used to be the best car salesman in the city.
How many times does he say that? Like, I used to sell cars.
I think 5 times in the movie he says he like brings up the fact that he used to sell cars.
So my last job was in car sales, but hey, that's not the job for me.
Yeah.
But we see he's also kind of in the same position as Lisa. He has a bunch of like past bills like due, like final notice, like, hey, you pay this now.
He also has the easiest job in the world. Okay, 2 things. He has the easiest job in the world because his job is just basically like, I'm looking at these women. They seem like attractive women. This 30-second interview is over. Here's Rhonda. Like, what a great job. Yeah. And secondly, like in a well-crafted slasher, you kill everybody. Mm-hmm. Like everybody. Like there should have been a scene where like he gets killed somehow.
Yeah.
The other producer gets killed somehow. Like, just to tack on the body count in a good classic slasher, bring everybody into the party. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. Like what would have made it more effective other than just cutting away to Hank driving to just be like, it's not Hank. Kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him. And then have Rhonda have an offhanded comment of, oh, we had to let Hank go.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. These 3 girls are friends and time is passing because they're together nonstop. But none of them are even wise to the fact, like, oh, hey, I can't get a hold of Lisa anymore. Hey, I can't get a hold of Brigitte anymore.
Lisa, they do explain because there's like, oh, she probably just left for spring break already.
I figured they would go together, right?
Yep. Well, no, because remember she was going with her friend like that. Like,
oh yeah, you're right. Like
in that, like after that when they're introduced, like
coincidence.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's a coincidence. Yeah. Convenient coincidence that's said earlier in the movie, so we can have this piece of dialogue now.
They do sometimes explain things above average, but it doesn't really help the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
Are there any other pieces that we haven't hit upon or major themes that you also found unnecessary that we haven't hit upon?
Man, I'm trying to think because the movie is so surface level. It doesn't say anything other than the modeling industry is bad and it drives women crazy. That is the entire crux of this movie. Is its thesis statement, and that is what it is in its surface level.
Stacy made that up. She lied, that lying little bitch. She killed Rhonda, left her lying there on the floor. That ain't right. There's another lying little bitch.
So basically what we do every week now is the champ, Luis Boos, has said we should create drinking games for every movie. In the event, I mean, Joe and I watch this movie, so you people watching don't have to watch it. But if you do choose to get your friends together for a fun night where you will drink while watching it, here's what you do. Joe, go ahead. You can go first.
So just so you're gonna get started off pretty good. You're gonna take a shot every time Hank brings up that he used to sell cars. So you're already 5 shots deep there.
That's great. I think mine's a little more nuanced. You probably have to be a fan of movies like this. But every time you see a scene that would have been shot differently if this movie was made in 1987, take a shot.
Yeah, you're trying to kill people.
Like, put it this way. I'm not saying that movies need to be made for the express purpose of like exploiting women and women need to get naked and women need to get hacked to pieces. But those movies exist, and that's clearly what this movie is promoting. Like it's set in the modeling world, you're expecting it. But if this movie was like made in like 1988,
it'd be a grindhouse exploitation.
Yeah, like it would be like a true. This movie could be decent, like, or at least in the conversation. Mm-hmm. So every time you're watching, you're like, this is what's supposed to happen. Take a shot.
Mm-hmm. If this movie was a slasher version of Showgirls, it'd be great.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it's trying to be.
Yeah, it's trying to be a slasher version of Showgirls, just modeling instead of dancing.
Yeah,
but it doesn't hit on it. Another thing. Anytime there's an unnecessary establishing shot, take a drink.
Yeah, every time you don't know what city they're supposed to be in, take a shot, because I think it's maybe Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's like it seems like it's supposed to be LA, but like we were saying before we started recording, nobody. You can add to that.
Talk about the accents.
Yeah. Take a drink every time someone changes their accent. It happens so often that people will drink. And here's a lighter one going on that. Take a drink every time someone stumbles over their line. Won't be too many drinks, but it's still there.
Yeah. There's a lot of accents in this movie. It's clearly set. I do believe a lot of the establishing shots are Los Angeles. I'm not like an architectural expert, but I think it is. But Jagged Edge is a British company. There's clearly British actors and actresses. Some of them are British doing British accents. Some of them are British doing American accents. One guy is Irish. One guy is Australian. They're all in the same movie together. Enjoy. Looks Can Kill. And that has been Looks Can Kill. Joe, if people want to see more of you, where can they find you in this?
You can find me at Joe Hipsterson on all social media. I manage Venture Industries and TLU. We had a pretty good season, had the runner-up for the singles tournament. So very excited to see what the future holds for that. Other than that, you can just check me out around the space. Don't have any of my own shows. I just bounce around, guesting where I can. So just check me out on wherever you watch your movie and nerd commentary and trivia.
Right. So this week coming up on the Why We Love Horror channel, obviously this is dropping today on Monday. Thursday will be the Why We Love Horror 2024 look ahead of all the movies that myself, Aaron, and Abby are looking forward to see in 2024. And on Friday, it is the Teams Championship as the loved ones take on Hail Paimon to crown our inaugural Why We Love Horror Trivia Teams Champion. Until next time, this has been John Versus. We appreciate having you.